the year it's the high school, and the 10th standard is 2 years of the high school. And then what is the teacher quality? Teacher quality is said to be the most important factor influencing learner outcomes. Teacher can improve students' achievement, so teachers' education is impacted to the parents depend on a large extent to the quality of teacher and teaching method. And then next, using the different teaching styles. Different teaching styles are necessary because the student needs to be learn what the teacher is teaching. Some teacher are used just one teaching style in the classroom, so maybe it makes the students boring or not interesting in the classroom. Maybe they are boring because the teacher are just using one teaching style. And some of most of the teacher in high school, they just sitting in front of the classroom, so just teach the students like this. So it makes the student boring and not interesting about the lesson, and the teacher the students maybe can't pay the attention to the lessons. So next, how to motivate students to participate in classroom activities. During activities such as group discussions and presentation, by doing group discussion, all the students can communicate with each other and can share critical thinking, can share thinking and share something like this for the presentation. If the student the students don't have self-confidence, so they don't get ahead on their learning without teaching. So presentation is also one of the most important for a student. So the teacher should motivate students to do presentation in the classroom. Next, backgrounds of the education in Myanmar. The education of Myanmar first began during the time of Asian kings and has been regarded as important and significant. There just was a monastery education since colonial in Myanmar. So now there are a lot of schools such as private school. Yeah, and that's right. The education system in Myanmar is operated by the Ministry of Education. And the next, background of teaching style. The use of teaching style started in the beginning of 20th century. This was due to the amount of research being poured into different learning methods. Love and John had found their teaching style to improve the quality of parents or students. And that's why education is important for us. It helps us to improve our knowledge and skills that can help ourselves in different ways. Many people want to have a good education. The reasons why many people want to have a good education is because it can help them to have a job. In Myanmar, even if it's a big or small company, it is required that you have graduated the college or a good position in high school or something like that. So this is why education is important for us. The next is why is classroom management important? Satisfaction and enjoyment in teaching are dependent upon leading students to cooperate. Most of teachers in high school, they just teach the student by the lecture sign in the classroom, just standing in front of the class and just write the lessons on the whiteboard. So the student just copyright in their books, in their notes. So I think they don't have any critical thinking, any about his subject. So, and the next classroom management issues are of highest concern for beginning teachers. Most of teacher who is experienced in teaching, they can understand the students, what is happening between the students, what problem the student have. So I think for the new teacher, they need to improve their classroom management and to improve their quality, to improve student achievement in high school. So the next is my statement of the problems. Low of the quality of the teacher can affect many negative effects on the students because all of the students don't get ahead on their learning, no thinking, no knowledge, and no skill. So many negative effects can affect a lot of negative way to the students. So the teacher should improve their quality. And the next is more using the traditional approach learning style. As in Myanmar, most of the high school, the teacher haven't changed the teaching style, just teaching traditional approach. So the teacher, in their lessons, they just explain like your textbooks, like a sentence, not explains like how can we study this subject from everywhere like this. So no full knowledge of his subject. If the teacher doesn't have full knowledge of his subject, it can affect so a lot of negative effect on the student. So if even the teacher is teaching to the student like just did like a textbook, like a sentence, like a textbook. So the students just know on their textbook. So don't know what in other words what is happening, and what we can learn from it. So like this. Next is techniques for better classroom control. Focus attention on entire class. Like earlier I said, the student just sitting in front of the classroom, just teaching to the student like this. So the students, maybe the teacher maybe don't know what is happening between the students, and then can they pay attention to the lesson? So they don't know what is happening between the students. So the teacher have to focus attention on entire class and move around the room. So students have to pay attention more relatively. Most of teachers are teaching to the student like just standing one place and don't move another place. Don't move around the classroom. So he or she can know what is happening between the students. So the student can understand the lessons. They don't know. So the teacher should know. The teacher should move around the room. So students have to pay attention more really. And the next is the important things to improve teacher quality. For number one, training. Now in the high school, the teacher have not changed the teaching style. I mean, for the trainee, the teacher stay using traditional approach. Not even the curriculum have updated. The trainee is just stay like this. Just stay not outdated. The trainee is outdated. So if the curriculum update, so also the trainee, the Ministry of Education should update the training. Next is coaching. Coaching will help teachers to improve their capacity and to get student achievement. Now, next is teacher empowerment. Teacher teacher empowerment, both diversity of teacher and teacher have to participate in to get together teaching goal. And that's it. Necessary skill for modern teaching. Had proper training. Earlier, as I said, the teacher should have proper training. The trainee should update and be organized. He or she can organize his or her classroom. Next is be open to questions. Young learners are rather inquisitive, and the number of TS may be enormous. So the teacher should listen to the question. Not only should listen to the question and find time to answer the students' questions. And then be sociable. Communications of a teacher and a student should not be restricted by the wall of the classroom. Some model students, they want to know personal questions with the students, so through social networks, then they want to ask personal questions with teacher face to face. So this is the importance for teacher to be sociable. Next is be curious and develop. Be curious and develop. If the curiosity makes people to improve, to know their like and to improve in their subject. I mean, the teacher should be curious in his or her subject. Is she or he and curious in his subject, do not be knowledgeable in the subject, so they can teach to the students explicitly. That is my objective, to identify the effective way to raise the quality of the teacher. In high school, due to low of the quality of the teacher, I want the teacher to use effective way to teach the students. That's to find out current students' problems due to low of the quality of the teacher. Next is to raise teacher quality for the purpose of enhancing outstanding students and getting new teaching style in high schools. Why do teachers need training? Effective teacher learning and professional development is important for students' achievement. Teacher learning is a continuous process that promotes teachers' teaching skill, master new knowledge, develop new proficiency, which in turn help improve students' learning. This is why teacher needs training. So now in my collection, I interview with the Tiger's teacher, information to be collected writings by the researcher, and the article, books, cooker, internet, textbook, and journals. So now in my purpose is to raise the quality of teacher, to enhance outstanding students, to get new teaching styles, and to improve student achievement. This is finding. The finding of the study supposed to view that the teacher needs to learn more about the modern teaching style, with a very useful and appropriate with the culture of need of local students. For the conclusion, teachers should support, develop, and apply interactive classroom teachings and learning to benefit all students. The students and teachers should be working hand in hand to achieve natural learning goals, partnerships with students. The teaching style should concentrate less on book. Teachers should use modern teaching method. If the teacher is using this method, the student will get achievement. Exactly. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. Thanks for your pay attention.
Hi, what's your name? Ik Khai, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned about a good quality teacher. in our country, according to the you mentioned, that some teachers are really good skill,
Yeah.
but some school they have a lot of so many students.
Yeah.
And how can we provide how many students could be for the one teacher? Even teacher had a good skill, good knowledge, good attitudes, good behavior, good experience, and how many students could be for one teacher?
How much?
How many students could be for one teacher?
How many students?
How many students could be for one teacher?
For one teacher?
For example, I
Yeah.
can say you in the high school, secondary school, for the one teacher, they have a lot of students, many students, nearly 100 students. How do the students focus on to the teacher?
Yeah, maybe 25 maybe suitable because in when I was attending the high school, in my classroom there are about there are about 15 people. There are about 15 students in our classroom, so the teacher can pay attention to all of the students. So they don't know what is happening between the students and can students understand the lesson. So I think maybe 25 students could be one teacher.
Okay, there is not enough school. There is not enough teacher for teaching. You said for the 25 students, for the one teacher, they have 1,000 odd students. We need more teacher, right?
Yeah. Now there are many teachers at the education college. There are many students attending the education college. I think maybe 5 years, 10 years, there may be many students in the high school.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Take a deep breath. I just want to ask you, you have mentioned, right? Yeah, we also know that mostly the teachers giving the lectures and then students always silent and listen to the teacher the whole time, yeah? So do you think it is because of the lack of the qualities of the teachers or because of the educational systems? How do you think?
Maybe education system, because now our country use teacher center teaching, so the teacher teach the students by teaching center, teacher center approach. So the teacher teach lecture style to the students, so the students maybe follows education system.
Yeah, this is the point.
Yeah.
I also agree with that. Actually, in our state school, right? Sometimes while we're talking about the teachers' qualities, I think the educational system is more important than teachers' qualities. If we change the educational system, yeah, some teachers they are automatically, yeah, they can use their quality, whereas I has says there is a gap, right, between teachers and educational system. Some teachers, he or she might have a good quality.
Yeah.
He might, he can teach well, but because of the limited time or because of the curriculum, he or she cannot teach, cannot manage the student well. That's why I think sometimes it is very important to discuss about the educational systems.
Yeah.
Have you asked any state teachers? Have you interviews about your papers?
What?
Yeah. Did you ask or did you make any interview with teachers for your papers?
Yeah. I make it high school teacher, the 9 standards and 10 standards teacher.
And then may I know what did you discuss about with the teachers?
Yeah. I interviewed them to ever make assessment to the students? They answer like this. Yes, we make it every month. One month we make one assessment for every student. And also, they answer, we use time standard teaching in our school. So she answer like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I also want you to, if you have time, it might be better to ask them about their opinions between the gaps between the teachers and educational system limited, right? Sometimes even though they want to give a lot to the students, that there might be a limitation for them. That's why sometimes I think it is not the lack of qualities of the teacher. Sometimes it depends on more education systems, I think.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So your topic is study of raising the quality of teacher in high school, and I would like to ask you here, how do you define high school? For example, you study raising the quality of teacher only for a 9 standard, 8 standard, without basic education. So how do you take the high school in your research?
Sure, I'm taking the 9 standards and 10 standards high school. 9 standard and 10 standards grade students, yeah.
So why are they important for your research?
What?
Why are they important? Why do you include 9 and 10 standards?
Because it is law of the law of the quality of the teacher is offers many negative effects on the students, so the student don't get achievement, and even they finish their studies in high school, they don't know about their lesson exactly. For the English subject, even they finish their study in high school, they didn't know about English because the student at the high school the teacher teach English not as a subject. They teach English as a subject, not teach other language. So the students don't know about it. Yeah.
And then another question is that what is your opinion about the problem of many students for one teacher? So what are the problem if there is, for example, 50 students and then 100 students? So what are the problems the teacher face, and then how can we solve this problem?
Yeah, in my opinion, 24 students are suitable for one teacher because if there are about 15 students, the teacher can pay attention to all the students, and also an environment it is not good, and the teacher don't know what students want to know about the lesson, so I think the teacher can pay the time to the student for 15 students.
15.
Yeah.
15 to 25.
I mean, 25 students are suitable for one teacher. If about 15 students, the teacher can pay attention and can give a good time to the student. So it is a problem. So I want to solve these problems for high school. Yeah.
So what about tuition? Is there any problem with tuition today?
Teaching?
Tuition, and then quality of teacher.
Tuition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there tuition, and then, for example, we have heard there's a problem that the teacher are not teaching in the school.
Yeah.
So what is your opinion about this one?
In Jongwon Village, Basic Education High School Jongwon, the headmistress in that school, she doesn't promise to teach tuition to 9 standards and 10 standard students. She wants all the students to study in the high school, in the school, the whole day. Yeah. There's now in the high school, Joan Village, the 9 standards and 10 standard students don't get a chance to teach the tuition. Yeah.
One last question, one last problem. A few years ago, there is a Tamasku Foundation. Tamasku Foundation is in Myanmar right now. So they train the teachers so well.
Yeah.
And then it's a little bit out of question of the topic, a little bit out of the topic. But because of the effect of influence of Tamasku teaching method, I think even the high school today, even the government school today also be influenced by the Tamasku Foundation method.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Do you aware about that one?
Yeah, it is a great teaching method on Tamasku. As for the high school, the teacher in the high school don't participate in Tamasku school. For a Tamasku, it has their teacher, their private teacher. So I think the teacher in high school don't know about the teaching method in Tamasku. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you
Yes.
for your question.
Good afternoon.
It's okay. What?
Okay. To adopt the good student, the quality of teachers also have very important, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you think the teachers in our country now?
Now, yeah. For in our country, the whole in our country, I don't know exactly the
Okay,
whole in our country,
uh,
but in the Jawan village, I know exactly about this. The teaching methods in that school is not good because the village is far away from the city, so the teacher don't want to teach the student effectively. They just teach like following by the textbook and just teach like comfortably, not explain and not expanding for their lesson. So the students don't know exactly for in their lessons and don't know what is happening in my lesson and in their lesson. So I think in that high school the teacher should improve their quality. For my project, I focus on Jongwon High School because the teacher in the high school, the quality of teacher in the high school is not good. So I want to improve it. Yeah.
In your opinion, do you want to say, you would like to say our teacher in our country, they had no time enough for the student, right?
Yeah.
So for that, what can we give the suggestion to that teacher from the student? Student want teacher to teach to the student.
Yeah.
So what you want to get the opinion to that teachers? I want to know too.
Yeah. Do you mean the teacher who haven't has a good time?
Have no enough time.
Not enough time.
Yeah.
Yeah. In most of high school, the teacher don't get enough time for teaching, but they are teaching by teaching over time to the students. Yeah.
It's just
maybe
like
at-
using.
Yeah. Maybe at 4 p.m. they call the students to teach overtime at the school.
That's a standard that they had no other country from abroad. They had no tuition.
Yeah.
So what the problem happened in my country, in our country.
Was it?
Without the tuition, the student cannot
Yeah.
achieve the successful, right?
Yeah.
So what happened? Do you have opinion about that?
Yeah, I hope. In most of high school, all the students must attend the tuitions because they don't understand exactly about the lesson in the high school because the teacher don't teach effectively in the high school because they want to open the tuition to get a salary to get the fee because the salary of a teacher in Myanmar is not good. So for a teacher, they have their daily life and they have their daily life. They have to eat and they have to like in their life. So it's only just salary for only just teacher salary. They can enough to eat to go so like this.
Okay, thank you for your
Yeah.
answer.
Thanks for your question.
Good afternoon, Minh Kê Khánh.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, you said a teacher is like a candle, a teacher is like a flashlight, right?
Yeah.
I used to hear from a Westerner, from a native speaker, they said a teacher is like a police. How do you think that? A teacher is like a police.
Pull it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I don't have
I'll tell you. You know, one a teacher and a leader, a small salary. They don't manage in the classroom very well. They have to use their time with another job. Like you say, why tuition now in Myanmar? In Myanmar, most people accept the idea of the teacher. Teacher should not earn more salary because their life is dedicated into the teaching. They don't need a big salary. We just believe that. It's not right, anything. Right? In another country, we can study around the world. In some country, teacher earn a big salary. Why? And they can manage in the school. They can teach in the school very well. So in Myanmar, that's tuition problem. Not only in Myanmar, but in some Asia country, I think. Also, I would like to ask you, are you focusing on a teacher in high school, in a private school, or in a government school?
Government high school, business education high school.
A government school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you compare with the private high school, it's very different. Why? They earn more salary. That is the problem. I think you will be a good teacher if you teach in the future, because you research about teaching. Right?
Yeah.
So, in my comment, another point is you want to put on your thesis, on your research. Some classroom, you know, a teacher, not only teacher, there is one commentator or homeroom teacher. We call it homeroom teacher, teacher assistant teacher. Right? So we want to improve teaching quality in high school. So we should have another one in the room, not only teacher.
Yeah.
That is also if you want to write more about teaching quality in your thesis, right? So the problem we facing right now in Myanmar is not because of the only 1 point or 2 points. There's more points, and you also can study more why. And most of your point in your research, and then you should also include the problem is you put why this happened, and you can get more information about the fact to the other people. And when people know there's a problem, there's fact, this is a good fact, this is a good point to know. So your research will be a very good one. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for advice. Any questions from the audience?
teachers are going to ask you.
You have told 3 objectives for your presentation.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask you about the concern with number 2 objective. So you just telling about current students' problem situation because of the impact of the low quality teachers, right? Number 2 objective. So, before asking that question, there is about the suggestion answer, not directly answer. I just want to know for suggestion for that person. Imagine as that person.
Yeah.
So, under the previous government, most of the government school, all the teachers, we just focus on teacher-centered method. You know that, right? Teacher-centered method. Not only the school, but also the university. Because of that impact, nowadays, most of the students for university or high school, we face a lot of difficulty right now. We can't get a job or we can't get, because of, we don't have any quality, right? Because of teacher-centered method. So imagine if you are a student, didn't know, although you get a degree for MYMA University, physics major or mathematics major, but you didn't know nothing. Maybe endless for formula, so without that one, you can't get a job. So if you see that person, if they are asking to you, because of the education system, right now, happening right now. So how can you suggest to that person when they focus about education system because the teacher quality is that right or true? How do you think about your opinions, or how will you reply to that person? What is your opinions?
What is this?
I mean, you just telling about current student problem, right?
Yeah.
Number 2 objective. So maybe current situation, that is true. So one of the student, imagine, if you're telling to your teachers about when you point out with that first, so how will you reply to that person? Imagine you are a teacher or one of the person for education's ministry, I don't know. So how can you reply to that, and how will you suggest to that person to get the better future?
Did you mean a person is a teacher?
I mean, imagine you are like a student. Because of that system, you can't get a good thing, a good job. So when you feel like that, you will tell to your teacher, oh, because of you. So how will you reply to that person, and how will you suggest to that person to get a better future, not think about the past? So.
Yeah. In my opinions.
Yes.
Firstly, to get a teaching style, I'm going to report to the Ministry of Education to change their teaching style for students. For the student, I motivate them to do self-study by him or her, because the low quality of the teacher, student didn't get anything. So don't stay just like this. Even the teacher is low of the quality, we have to try to get a better future. So we have to learn what knowledge can we get, and what lessons can we understand. So the point is I want to tell, don't stay just like it. If the teacher is low of the quality, we have to find ways to get a better future for it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks for the question.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah. Your presentations have given me questions. Yeah. So you are the one who is Burmese student, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many percentage you enjoyable with Burmese education? Yeah, between 10 to 100% and why? So could you please give me some reasons and explanations?
Did you mean how many times?
How many percentage?
How many percentage?
Yeah.
You
Enjoyable with Burmese education.
Burmese education.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly 100%. Because I came from special education high school, from the kindergarten to the 10th standards just now, from until to first year. Now I'm second year. From first year, I have learned the teachers and the teaching from the students. So it's 100%.
Yeah. And at the moment, you have said that is many teachers and have no quality in art.
Yeah.
Yes. And so why you plead with their teachers 100%?
Yeah. Once I was attending in high school, I can speak out to the teacher. Teacher, this lesson is I don't know exactly, and I'm not clear about it, so I can speak out to the teacher. Why? Because the teacher doesn't train to us how we can improve our skill and how we can ask the questions. Most of the teacher they don't like to answer to the students, and most of the students are afraid of the teachers to ask the questions.
Yeah. One more question. Yeah.
Yes.
Could you share me some your idea about education in our country and why most of our youth in our country they aren't interested in our educations? Yeah.
Actually, I want to change student standard teaching, but just better discussion with the government, so I can change this.
Yeah.
So for me, I can afford to raise the quality of the teacher because now I'm doing the project. So if I finish my project, I will produce a 10 paper master thesis for the students and also for the teacher to read my project. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Any questions from the audience?
Hello. I want to know suggestions from you. Yesterday, I went to my village. One of my villagers told me about her son is foolish.
What?
Her son is very foolish. Foolish, yeah. She told me her son is not as outstanding, but he's so trying to pass the exam, but she failed every object. Also, can you suggest to me what is the best quality of the teacher needs to train to achieve this that student?
The student?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question, but I would like to say the teacher should train to the students once they have a good time. But because these students are always fail like at the exam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that student is not intelligent, not hardworking on study.
He hurt. Yeah.
Failed.
Yeah.
So why? she is hardworking on his subject, but she failed in the exam.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
So
what
how
is
can
the
I do
best
that?
quality of the teacher need?
As I think this concept is the parents' role. Yeah, as both teacher and parents, because the students is control on the parents, right? So also the parents should motivate to his child, to his parents, how can he no, sorry. The parent should motivate to his child to study the lessons, but you mean the student is hardworking, right?
He trying to pass the exam, but he failed.
Yes, she want to know this student, even though he was trying studying so hard, but he still failed the exam. So I think it is because of the way that he studies, or because of the teacher's qualities. Yeah, maybe between those two.
Yeah, in my opinion, maybe the student is studying by heart. Because if we study by heart, we can memorize everything in the exam. So I think the student should study not by heart. Just yeah. About this, I don't know exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah. Any questions?
Hello, any questions?
Anyone?
No? So I have one last question to you. Because I'm a teacher, I know that I'm a very qualified teacher.
Yeah.
But, so let's say I'm MYMA. Here in my classroom from level 3 intermediate students, they're altogether 31 students. So, because your topic focuses on the qualifications of the teachers, and I know that I'm very qualified, but 1/3 of the students, they are not always listen to my lecture. 1/3, So let's say 20 students are, just they are following all the time with me, but 10 out there, they are not. They don't. So what should I do to those kinds of students?
Firstly, you should train to the students to be self-confident. Yeah.
They have enough confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mean they are lack of confidence. They have enough confidence, but they don't just pay attention. Yeah.
I know you mean the students don't think anything, just follow your answer like this.
Excuse me? What do you mean?
Can you repeat it?
Okay. I mean, like 30 students, let's say 30 students, 20 are my students, they are just following me all the time. They always listen to my lecture, they are very punctual, they don't skip the class mostly. But 10 out there, okay, they know that this is the 4 to 6 is the class for, English class. They know that. That's why they enroll the class from the beginning of the class, But after enrolling, they have to pay the class, regularly and follow the teacher's trend or something. But, maybe 10 days or 15 days, 2 weeks, let's say. Okay, they are not punctual anymore. They don't come to class punctually, regularly, and they are not interested in a lecture. So those kind of students, what should I do?
Firstly, you should look around entire of the classroom.
Of course, I do. I do.
And maybe the students and interest in English. I think because of encouragement of their parents, they just came to the class.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. So it may be difficult for you to to motivate the students. So I want to suggest to you.
Yes.
Yeah, just motivate students. You should explain how English language is important for them, because this is English class, right? So it should explain like this. The teacher may be interesting on your lesson.
I always motivated since they are from level 1, now they are in level 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 already. Like it's nearly a year already. So this is your suggestion. So anyway, I have to motivate them again. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any more questions? No. Thank you. presentation here with you one more time.
Project destination. The project of my topics is landslide project. Okay. First, a very brief. I want to introduce a very brief lecture about landslide presentation. First, okay, what is a landslide? Landslide is the mass movement of rocks, rock and BRS, and the influence of gravity. Landslide happens at the time that part of neutral soil is powerless to hold up its own weight. You know, landslide it happens almost in around the world, but some landslide occur like a natural geological process, but some process are include the weather condition or weather permanence. Okay, the next one is here you see a picture of Molas Mountain, typically in the Palm Township. This is my background. This landslide it happened in August 9, 2019. By the heavy rains, actually 25 people and 5 working here were banned by mass and more than 60 people are killed by the landslide. In the second picture is, you know, before a landslide and after a landslide, this is the picture of comparison of between two them. Landslide is, you know, landslide it can destroy and damage a lot of our variety, border, and economies and environments. Landslide as a natural disaster, floaty are not insurance for the casualty. You know, even this happening after that, government can provide food and shelter, but the financial problem cannot be. So landslide is mainly affected on our environment and on our people. Okay, the next one is, according to the statistics from 2015 and 2019, thousands of miners died by a landslide in the Parker, Kachin State in Myanmar. You know, Kachin is the place where it's generating the valuable of the jet mines, especially men who were pigs and send the pieces of mine were buried by the landslide. In statistics from during 2015 and 2019, actually 160 people were died by a landslide, and then more than 70 shelter where the jet miner sleepy is also damaged in this Jewish landslide. Oh, sorry. Okay, the next is in this landslide is also occurred in the Jacqueline Bakuda in our home state in Molanyai. This is no casualty, but some people have to decollect to the safe regions. This is one problem statement. Okay, landslide occur throughout the world, and of climate condition and terrains. Cold billion in the monastery lose and responsible for thousands of deaths and injury each year. Often they cause long-term economic dispersion, population and displacement, and negative effects on the natural environment. Okay, the next one is, this is my objective. To determine the first objective is to determine the effect prevention of landslide. The second one is to find out current problem due to case of the landslide. The third one is to educate and understand about landslide to the people and to get a better tomorrow. This objective I will explain the below, right? This is my case study methodology. I studied for the reading, textbook, journal, and article was written by the researcher. Finding some information data on the social media and the library. And the next one is, I will explain about case and effect of the landslide. You know, after gravity, landslide it happen almost cases of the gravity. You know, when the ground is flat to the gravity, right? And the second one is earthquake. Earthquake can occur the landslide. You know, ground or shelter, the upper layer of rocks can be damaged and can be get oil erosion. So these consequences can happen earthquake. The next one is erosion. Irregular rainy like stream and current and wind can cause the soil erosion. Because of soil erosion, landslide may happen, right? This is consequence of erosion and landslide. And the next one is volcanoes. A volcano can happen a landslide. You know, when volcano is in a bad condition, the soil will be weak, and so that's why this soil weaken or soil erosion that the slide may be downfall. So it is the reason of volcano, right? And the heavy rain, you know, heavy rain is like this is the same with the floaty. Heavy rain and floaty is the same and related because this is the terrain, heavy rain and saturated groundwater. You know, the soil saturated by the heavy rain. So many times they will be flowed down. So this reason they can happen a landslide. The other reason is mining, excavation, blasting, road, or the commission of land. You know, one situation of mining, we have to use the blasting technique. When we use the blasting technique, vibration it can be happen. If vibration happen, the soil will be weakened, and the soil will be shaped. That's why the mining is the case of landslide. The next one is deforestation, logging, clear cutting. Logging, clear cutting, it can be a landslide, and it can trigger a landslide. You know, for example, tree hold up the layer of ground and land. So if the tree doesn't have our environment, this might be a landslide. Okay, the last one is impact on landslide. Loss of life. The first one is loss of life. You know, we lose our life and we get injured. The next one is damage to infrastructure. Infrastructure like a road, we block the road. And we damage such as the water supply and water supply. Yeah. And the next one is economic loss. You know, when the landslide happens, well, after the landslide happens, we miss a lot of costs. For example, like cost for medical care when enjoying the event. The next cost is to prepare and to repair the house and to buy some property to rehabilitation. You know, the next one is loss of soil quality, soil degradation. Due to the landslide, we have reducing crop yield and food insecurity. The next one is displacement, poor living condition. You know, for the poor people, there is very difficult to resettle like before. This is the effect to the poor people. The next one is wait or time, rebuilding house. We will lose our time. For the people, like especially for the children, some children lose the time. They don't have to attend the school. They have to rehabilitation and sampling. They have to take a time. The next one is loss of biodiversity and destruction of ecosystem. Lastly, we think about with the example of algae and fish and insects. You know, for example, fish eat the algae. For example, in the pool, in the lake, fish eat the algae. For example, algae doesn't have a fish can be alive. Like fish, the insect which eat that of fish cannot be alive without fish. This is called loss of biodiversity and destruction of ecosystem. Okay, the next one is landslide preparedness and safety measure. We have to know before landslide, but we have to preparedness. The first one is find out if landslide has happened in your area in the past. We have to find out where the landslide happens. It happens because the area in the landslide can happen landslide again. The second one is look out for landslide warning sign. Before a landslide, we have to check out the crack of tree or the crack of the building. we have to when and we have to notice. The next one is consider location in your house. We have to check before a landslide how components are repaired and how part of ready we are regulated. So because this part of permanence can keep landslide fast. So we have to notice that. The next one is do not build or at the base of unstable slope, minor terrain is hollow, and all face steep slope. This is very important for the person who be in the beside the mountain. They have to know it and they have to choose exactly and carefully. The next one is stay alert and awake because current landslide is almost hot, but in the people are sleepy. And also that some landslide they are not a warning sign. Some landslide happen slowly and some landslide happen quickly. Yeah, we have to notice that. Another one is make evacuation plan. We have to plan and how we have to evacuate. We have to save our life. How we have to save our life. We have to learn from the authorities, make a plan and go out to the outside the house in a minute. The last one, number B is during a landslide. What we have to do during a landslide? We have to listen to an unusual sound. For example, some landslide happen, some mountain fall down like a debris. We have to notice this piece that we can focus when landslide happen. Okay, the next one is when you are outdoor during a landslide, what we have to do. Okay, the first one is try to run out to the nearest high ground or away from the path of landslide. Because the person who lives beside the river can suffer the most landslide. Because when the river side, this occur can happen quickly, so they suffer the most. And if you are near the area, trying to move quickly to safe area. That's the same. When you are indoor during the landslide, what we have to do? We have escaped from the landslide, stay inside and remain honest. Hold on to something strong and protect your health. We have to protect, we have to save our life, and we have to train our brain, have to save and have to protect our hair. Okay, the next one is after a landslide, what we have to do. Okay, let's see it. The first one is stay away from the landslide area. We have to stay away from the area because this area can happen landslide again. So we have to know this. The next one is have neighbors who are injured. For example, like infants, people, and elderly people who are emergency need the help. And then the next one is tell injured and third person without entering the slide area, the right rescuer. We have to derive how the people is trapped and how the people is stay inside during a landslide. If you know, we have to derive the rescuer without entering the side area. The next one is listen to the local emergency information. We have to listen and we have to carefully. After landslide, what they are derived. What we have to do. It is important for our. And the next one is check the baby foundation wall. It is important fashion also. If the baby is if the baby is cracked, if the landslide happen again, we can suffer and we are not safe from landslide. Okay, the next one is how to minimize landslide hazards. Okay, we have to choose a safe location. Upward pressure. We have to choose a good place and a good location. This is important. The next one is prevent deforestation and vegetation removal. Deforestation is very important. Vegetation removal and deforestation is very important for a landslide. The roots of the tree and whole are destroyed and the land. So we have to replant again and we have to replant again and to get a beautiful and a peaceful life. The next one is build retaining wall. The build retaining wall is important for protect the landslide. Retaining wall is protect most of the casualty and most of the damage. And the next one is excuse go around the rain. We have to choose go around the rain is. The next one is awareness generation. We have to awareness for future generation how the landslide it happened, how landslide is made in our life, in our environment, and we have to know about before landslide what we have to do and to save and to control the damage on our property. Okay. Thank you for your attention. Questions.
Good afternoon. You work hard, and then now I find out something. Why six of you worked at the library, in the library every day? I saw you, six of you. Now, your work so far, so many things to do. Your landslide topics, I think is a good point for normal people to know. Yeah. Most normal people, they don't know about this. They don't know why this reason. This reason they rarely know. But and then crony, going to hate you. I did a businessman, and then some businessmen, they just see for their own business. They just see for their own money. They don't care about landslide, about the people problem. And government also going to love you. And then, normal people, when you write about this topic, when normal people know about this information, they can avoid where to buy land, where to build the house, right? So in your thesis, in your research, you can suggest poor people, normal people, when you buy land, when you want to build a house, you should choose a good location, right? Landslide, I think most of the case for the landslide is rain, right? Because of the rain, the mountains and bearing location, it is just natural. They just build where it is. But sometimes when the rain comes, the landslide, the natural become destroyed. So when you write about these landslide things, and then you work hard, a lot of effort you give us. Six of you already working hard. You already presented this information to us, and what you have to do in the next future is you have to let people know, let normal people know, and make your thesis, make your research go around the world. Make your research. We first hear from you. We first know from your presentation. Next, second, and then people in Myanmar or in Mon State. And then next, you can deliver your message to the people around the world. And you can also work with people who maintain the natural resource. Now, the United Nations, UN organization, they also have projects, like I said, Greenland, the plantation, they maintain the tree, natural things, natural resource, they don't want to destroy it, right? So when you when you write more about your research, you can write more about what I suggested you, what I comment to you. You have to write more. I mean, like poor people, they doesn't know about this, so you should share with them, right? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Actually, I don't have idea about the. I have seen in the Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So, in the landslide happened. So, it we in the house.
Yeah.
How can we protect about for our life? I want to know about that.
When we stay in the house, don't we go get out the house. We have to stay in the house, wait and all that. For example, listen to television or listen to radio to get emergency information. And then we have to protest our body or our life to say something, to protest some whatever or some the things to save our lives. For example, they have to protest. The health is very important, yeah, right?
Yeah,
when
right.
the baby is called out, this is important to protest is like a table. I give you example like a table, and it's not the best way. No, it's not the best way. But we have to find out what is the best way to prevent our health or our body. Yeah, and this is my answer to say when the landslide occur, what we have to say. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it is a very interesting topic. Yeah, I have never thought about this landslide, but actually, almost every year we got the landslide in most states. It is very good to talk about the landslide, but mostly the people forgot about landslide. You have mentioned very good the thing that we need to prepare before a landslide, right? This is very important. And also, one thing I want to know is mostly in Ye Township, and then some of the towns, villages, they have their farms around the mountains. So sometimes the mountains cause this happened. This occurs a landslide. After landslide, they lost their farms, right? They lost their farm. This is the problem. After losing the farms, the villagers, the farmers, they cannot grow anything. On the soils. So is there any way to use this soil again, the landslide in soils?
Yeah, this problem is this is relevant with the geological process. So we have to. I don't know exactly, but we can request the suggestion from the geological scientists. But we have to maintain our shrine. But we have to repair our plant, our crop year. Yeah. We have to request the suggestion to be a good shrine, and to have a good to be plant a god.
Yeah. And also the next one is now we got this problem. Yeah, almost every year. So. The farmer also, they lost their farms in almost every year. So I think, as I has heard, there is almost no organization or any group of people go to educate the farmers, and then especially the farmer who got their farms around the mountains. So I think you need to recommend something for that. There is a lot of information, right? The thing that we need to prepare before this landslide. That's why the farmer, they didn't know about that. Yeah. That's why I think we need some organizations or some group of people or volunteers to educate these people. But now, as we have seen from these years, some organizations or some group of people, they only go to provide and then have this the people after landsliding, but not before. Yeah. Actually, we also need to educate them or help them before landsliding, I think. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right. Very good.
So, good afternoon or good evening. So, last but not least, Mo, and your presentation also enlightened one. So, they say that we need to be passionate to be successful. So, I think that you have a lot of passion in your topic, in your research, and in your research about the landslide. You have passion from your presentation. So, how do you enjoy? For example, how do you find enjoyment in the topic?
How do I find out this data collection, right?
No, I mean, how do you find enjoyment or passionate about your topic? Your relationship with your topic. Yes.
You know, in our country, in these years, especially most days, we suffer by flooding, especially there is a seriously happened a landslide. Many people the death and loss of people of property is damaged. So I think this problem is how to find out and how to share the audience. So I choose this topic.
Do you enjoy to work?
Yeah. When I study to expert, and I will enjoy this during the landslide to help the people and to raise the awareness.
So yes, thank you for the answer. And I have one more question: is that we during the few years we have a problem of landslide in Mon State. Yeah. Before, usually we don't have that one. So that is economic, economic life of Mon State people and a landslide. There is a relation between that because of our economic. We doing a lot of rubber plantation in mountain. Yeah. Every mountain you go, you will see that rubber plantation. This is from my experience. So what is the economic situation with the effect of a landslide in Mon State?
I think I don't know exactly about the economic problem. I think that the effect of the case of the landslide is by the deforestation. Consequence of deforestation, the flooding, and then the consequence again of flooding is global warming. Yeah, this is because a lot of businessmen they are business. Okay, sorry. Men makes a lot of profits. They give a lot of profits for the environment and for the people. The profits suffer.
Thank you very much for your excellent presentation.
Yeah,
yes.
Thank you.
Audience.
Any question, please?
Any questions?
Hi, dear.
Hi.
Yeah, firstly, I would like to say I love the way that you explain and give example. Yeah, but I also have one question. Yeah, and how much do we have to plant the tree per year to protect the problem of a landslide?
About the tree?
Yeah, that you said we have to plant a tree to protect the problem of landslide, right? And then how much do we have to plant the tree per year to protect the problem of landslide? Yeah.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
in our Mon State, almost the place with the rubber plants.
Yeah.
So we have to choose the kind of tree that can hold up the land and the ground. I don't know exactly about how many trees have to plant in our place or in our Mon State, right? But we have to choose those kinds of tree and to hold up the ground. Yeah. Thank you.
And yeah. So what kind of tree do we have to choose for? Yeah.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
The name of tree is oak tree. I think so.
Yeah. Thank you.
Actually, the trees that they have very long root, maybe. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? The audience? No. So, Nyomoto, thank you very much for your presentation. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite our Venerable CRO, Teruki Matara, to give a conclusion remark.
Okay.
Good evening, Seattle.
All of the presentator and presentation really amazing. I can't follow you. And also, I would like to thank all of the judges. You made efforts to come for our students to give some of the recommendation and suggestion, and also the student who participate our event for today. You are amazing because you have special ear. Everyone have ear, right? But they do not use their ear with their special chance. So today you have special chance to use your ear for your future education. So I hope for all of you in the next student of the idea. So otherwise you can ask your brother and sister what you have to do. So for today, all of the presentator, all of the students who make a big effort for their presentation, for their topics, even they come the same with education center, but they have different kind of topics they have already presented. So you have different kind of idea to listen. So next, the student who would like to do for their project, I would like to give a question. Before you do the project, you what for the future of your education, what have to on your topic. So today's topic, asking the question also very good, and also some of the recommendation and suggestion from the judges. You have to make note after this event, and then you just listen from the live, and then you may get some suggestion and prepare within 2 weeks, right? So within 2 weeks, you must finish, okay? Otherwise, you may miss the graduation day. So our graduation day for the student who completed the final paper project with full of the paper, at least 12 pages with reference. So the last day, 20 of February. So you have to submit 20 of February. If you can submit all of document on that day, and then you will see the graduation day on coming 23 Sunday evening with your family and friend. All of our teachers also will appreciate for your doing and for your making effort for the project. Okay, I would like to say all of you, congratulations, very, very big congratulations, and thank you all, thank you. Đang coi sao nhà họ nè, thì ta nó nào lên làm lo cái chơi cái nhà, mà mấy cũng lại lấy để lại ở cái nào ra, nè, bây giờ mọi cái tang này tôi có ta làm con cha xong rồi cha đọc xong họ ra, nè, thì bữa đó một cái phần món lo làm mua còn lại có quạt thầy có toàn con trai quạt thầy cho nó lon lên, những cái lên chọc,วันที่3 ngọ tàu hồi sớm mua mà ra po nó đi xôi nó đi nào thì làm một bữa lọt thì cha chỉ cho nó nè, thì trong một cái phần món này họ đã các quạt thầy đã tăng rồi nó có họ ra nè. Đó tôi một cái tăng rồi đấy, rồi có là sponsor nó nếu có như cái là đó, số một món á thì cho lọ số một món lấy nhá, lọ số một món chỉ có, các bạn có thì rồi chỉ có, đang nói đến đâu, một cái thì cái ra hàng á, thì nhau lọ số một món á, lấy ra hình đều, lấy brand đều, sau lấy chai ra mùa, thì nhau cái chuyện nhà, ok, giờ em nói là ta có quan tàn để đọc đó đấy, cái qua thấy đọc về đó bác lên toàn chọc sang nhà họ nè, qua chỉ một sân tay một đó, xong có già, ta là con già nhạc là qua chỉ một sân tay một bờ kia là thế ngoài đó cái, một toàn cái giai đoạn thì gần lại xí lại